Hello, everybody, for Rockstar Diaries Healing Out Loud.
Today's hot topic is about redemption, recovery, mental health. Yes, Jennifer Finch is and was a bona fide rock star bass player with the punk rock band L7, but she is also an overcomer. Shine of light saying you don't need to stay stuck.
I too had turned to a dangerous and unhealthy way of life after my father was killed. I often tried to numb myself. I was in a deep hole. The only thing I had at the time was my music, and I held on to that so tightly.
Recovery is sexy. It's sweaty, messy, unfiltered. It's saying no to the old rhythm so you can write a new one. It's learning to sit with your own thoughts and realizing they don't define you. It's forgiving yourself for the bridges you burned, mistakes you've made, and rebuilding one plank at a time. And let me tell you something, you don't need to have it all figured out and to take the next step. You just need to believe that the comeback is louder than the breakdown.
Now I wake up seeing God's call in my life. He took what once broke me and made it the very thing that has built me. Rewrite your story. Your pain becomes your pulpit and your scars, the sign of hope.
So if you're watching this and you're in the dark room, hear me. You are not your addiction. You are not your mistakes.
Please ask for help. Tell someone.
That's courage. Because real rock stars, you're the one. Hey everybody, we're here at where else but Rockstar Diaries TV with the lovely Janine and just me, Mr. Tracy Lee Smith.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay.
We have an amazing guest today. We're just so excited about this conversation.
We finally got a woman rocker on the show.
Yeah. Yes, and we just had Roger Fisher on the show, who is an amazing guy and one of my favorite bands. And now we have Jennifer Finch. And
it's like rock stars gravitate to the show, but you don't have to be a rock star to be on the show, because what we define as a rock star is someone who's been through it and got to the other side and helping somebody else.
From pain to purpose, or pain to beauty too, and trauma to triumph.
Yeah.
Yes,
telling the story and helping others. That's what we're all about here.
So let's introduce her. Jennifer Finch is a cultural instigator, punk rock icon, and multidisciplinary artist whose work spans sound, image, and story. Best known as the bassist for the groundbreaking band L7.
Yeah.
Jennifer has built a career that defies categorization, merging raw energy with emotional intelligence across music, photography, writing, and performance. Her perspective is shaped by decades on the road, behind the lens, and inside the pulse of underground and activist movements. Ooh, can't wait to talk to her about that. Let's welcome Jennifer Precious.
Hi,
how are you doing? Yeah, we are amazing. How are you?
I am amazing. I'm so excited to be here. I was entranced by that intro. I haven't heard anyone say it out loud, and it was just incredible. Thank you.
Well, we've been told that his voice is like a grandpa, like in a good way, like calming grandpa, making their grandchildren.
Like a sexy grandpa?
Well, I'm actually grand dude.
Grand dude.
Got it.
Behind that. Yeah.
And then I've been told that my voice is a little bit like the old loungy, sexy, like Michelle Pfeiffer. So I was trying I don't see it, but I was trying to put that into your bio because you are sexy, you are gorgeous, and we're so happy to have you.
Yes.
Thank
Tell
you.
our audience, a little about yourself, and we're going to go off screen and give you center stage lead singer, right?
Wow. Okay. I'm ready. I'm feeling good. Hey, everybody. My name is Jennifer Precious Finch. You may know me as the bassist of groundbreaking, legendary rock act L7. I'm a little punk. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I started out as a local musician and photographer. I joined L7 at 18. I grew up on the road with all of those stories that you hear about. through the 80s and 90s on the road. I quit for a while to go be in another band called Other Star People and The Shocker. And I've had all kinds of experiences that I'd love to talk to you about, because I do believe we can't keep it if we don't give it away.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my goodness. That is so true.
You're just like, you're doing it all. You're doing the photography and you're doing the band and all that. What do you like the most?
Oh, it's so great to ask that question. So I was a photographer. I don't consider myself a photographer now. I actually find photography a little boring. And I know that's like a very strange thing to say, but I'm much more interested in newer ways to expression, newer ways to look at images, shorts, short video and digital capture.
Mhm.
But I do have a really great collection of early punk rock, Los Angeles lifestyle stuff. I was a IV opiate addict from the age of 14 to 24, and I shot through those times. Not to glamorize them, it's just what I did. And so what I do with that now is kind of work with those images to talk about recovery, to talk about conclusion, how to bring our stories forward into the present, how to alchemize trauma and not just sit in our trauma and process our trauma, but really create, something progressive and wonderful from our experiences and pain, because there are experiences and there are pain. So to bring those forward in like a storytelling format. So I am excited about that, but it would be more maybe like to talk about archiving and presentation of images is what's exciting me. And L7 still plays, so I still get to go on the road. We just released a record called Scatter the Rats. So a lot's going on. I never know how to end these pitches. I always just trail off.
No, I love we coach folks, and I have a platform called Badass Lioness, and a lot of women, they feel that the pain and trauma of their past disqualifies them from telling their story and moving forward in the future. And I believe that those scars are what make it powerful and why people gravitate towards you. Do you agree?
I agree. And I would even move, because we've done so much work through the last couple decades with this, I would even advance it to say those aren't really scars. That's just your perception of what they are. They are actually, points of empowerment.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. You mentioned punk rock, and we were just on a walk with our dog talking about the Cars, because punk rock, they were considered a punk rock band back then. I don't know if you knew that, but punk rock has such an iconic history in our country, right? Well, in the UK, everywhere. And it has that no rules DIY kind of essence to it. I mean,
yes.
And you seem like you have that. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just going to be me and be my authentic self, and boom. Is that how it shaped you?
I am actually afraid of everything, but what we do is we do it anyway.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And, I think so long, I'm in my 50s, and I think my generation of women was really taught that we had to be perfect. We had to show, if we were going to show up, we had to be able to make statements, be clear, be perfect, don't be messy, don't experiment. But, it's been in the last 10 years that I've really just allowed myself, like, I'm not going to get anywhere without 30 failures, so I better start right now.
Yeah.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, my team and I are happy to help. We work across all price points and specialize in helping clients relocate from anywhere in the country. Give me a call, 214-708-2450.
Are you a gamer and tired of those annoying pit stops to the bathroom? Well,
We invented the gamer catheter. Just change the bag once daily and enjoy your endless playing of your favorite video games. $39.95, and you can just stay in your chair as long as you need to go number 1. That's all it takes. Remember, number 2 is almost as good as last. From the makers of Jinko, another reliable product.
Powerful.
I feel that's how it's going now. The older we get, the more we just let loose. Like we're blossoming at this type of age. You know what I mean? It's just so cool.
You stop giving a crap. I don't know if I could say the SHIT word
You're not afraid
and you're not
stupid.
afraid about what people think about
Yeah.
you. Like you stop, but I don't mean that in a bad sort of way. Like I love my people in my inner circle. I do care about, getting feedback from them, but you really do stop caring and you just do it. I feel like it gives you power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like women when we start out, our values are installed by us, by society and our parents. And a lot of the work that we end up really need to be doing is what is important to us and what are our own values, because when we can look at our values in a bigger picture, we can get through so much more of the day-to-day tasks. Like if your value is in your family, then feeding your kids is not a big deal. You do it. And if your value is also being a creative artist or being able to create something or create business or make money, whatever it is, you're able to feed the kids and go do all the tasks that you need to do to get to that next point. Nothing should stop you in being able to live your values.
Yes.
Oh, amen on that one. You're so open about your recovery. I was a cokehead in the early years, and I wore many masks because I was climbing the ladder at the corporate world, in a band, doing the church thing. I wore all these different masks, and I hid the true pain that was inside of me and all of that. And you said, when you mentioned the opioids and still getting up and going every day, do you feel like, that you were hiding your true self at that time, like I was?
I always say drugs saved my life and they worked until they stopped working. And the thing with drugs is I really believe in the mechanism where it's an internal addiction. Like it has nothing to do with what we did. Like you did coke, you did heroin, someone else may do gambling. It's these things that we have short-term energy fixes for ourselves, the things we can reach for that we know will work, to be able to feel comfortable, to feel stable, to feel serenity, or we're bored and we need, we have stability boredom. So we need to keep excitement going to get that energy. And really recovery for me is about looking inside myself to be able to find that stability, to be able to, I'm a spiritual person, so that's my connection, but people can find it in other ways as well. It's, I have no copyright on it, and I don't think anyone does have a copyright on it. So that's been my exploration now for, I think I've 35 years clean, and that's been my message. And I also think, to keep it, you give it away and you stay involved in the process. So I'm involved with helping women who are getting clean and coming out and transferring out of prisons and out of recovery homes. And, what's their next phase of their life going to look like, as part of their team. So it's worked.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. I had very low self-esteem, self-worth. I had eating disorders because I hated my body and was always striving. Just that was the race to be thin. And to be honest, that's why I started doing cocaine, because at that time it was fashionable. And the models did it. So I said, oh, well, if it works for them, but those were just the symptoms. I had to work on loving myself and doing the internal work, like you mentioned. So thank you for mentioning that. You've already mentioned so much. What's another piece of real world advice that you could give to these folks that are just burnt out and maybe have no hope?
Yes, I think that there's two different aspects. One is the burnt out and the other is no hope.
Yeah.
Hope is something that we can work to generate. Hope is a practice. hope is something that we can wake up each day with gratitude lists and, recognizing what hope looks and feels like in our lives. The burnt out part, I feel that we live in a society where we're not allowed deep rest. We're not allowed really to take time off. So I think sometimes with the burnout, go to the doctor and make sure all your blood work is in place. Look at your fatigue. We can't run on adrenaline, all the time. So, there's stuff to look at like that. And I always say I'm like a fancy sports car and I just need to be in the garage for a couple weeks for maintenance every year, Take that time off when you need it.
You're so poetic.
We're going to take a short break right now and come right back with Jennifer Finch. Woo!
Woo!
Led entrepreneur with a powerful message, but no idea where to start with a podcast? I see you, and let me tell you, you have not missed the boat. I created the 7-Day Podcast Pro just for you. It's a guided experience where we take your voice, your wisdom, your mission, and turn it into a professional, purpose-driven podcast in just 7 days. There's no guesswork, no overwhelm, and absolutely no tech confusion. You don't need to know how to edit. You don't need a fancy studio. You just need your message and the courage to share it. If you're ready to be heard, ready to lead, and take your message national or even global, 7-Day Podcast Pro is your launch pad. Let's get your voice into the world where it belongs.
Welcome back to Rockstar Diaries Healing Out Loud with Jennifer Precious Finch.
That's right. Hey, I got a question for you. Now, this is kind of a little wild. Back when you were just starting out, L7. Okay, now that name meant something when you first started. So what did it mean back then, and what does it mean now? The name.
That's such a great question. I joined the band. Susie Gardner and Danita Sparks started the band in 85, and I joined shortly after in 86. And they had the name L7. And at the time, and I guess it still does, L7 is a slang term for a square, like a beatnik slang term. And, a square meaning like a normal person or a mid person. We really liked the name because it didn't, if you don't know, you don't know. It kind of, I can't explain it. Like, it didn't really say who we were. And I felt that it would allow our music and our presence to speak for us. I think it was a great name choice. Tool was already taken. Just kidding.
Oh, did you go to other countries or stay within the United States?
Yeah. So, this was a dream of mine to tour Europe, and we made it to Europe. We played with Nirvana. We toured with Nirvana in the UK and Europe in 90. Did our first national tour in 1988 with the band Bad Religion.
Oh, okay. Bad Religion. Yes. That must have been just amazing and a good combination with your band. Are you all female?
Yeah. We didn't start out that way, though. We didn't. Dee Plakis, our current drummer, joined the band in end of 88.
Okay. We just saw the second Spinal Tap, and whenever I hear the word drummer, I think of Spinal Tap. Did
Trust. It was like that, Finding D.
And you have to go see number 2 because Spinal Tap 2, it's hilarious, but it's really, they talk about that whole drummer thing.
Amazing.
I want to talk about your book, the SH''T that my Rockstar says.
So that's actually a free, available monthly, I don't know what you want to call it, newsletter through Substack.
Okay.
It's just not really a book. I kind of don't believe in books. It's free. Nobody has to pay for it. You just jump on and get the free version. It's the same content as the paid version. And I'm just really seeking to create connection with the community. I'm just really interested in figuring out like art and culture and how we fit into it individually and in community. And I know that sounds really like whoop whoop, but I don't know, I think I cover some interesting topics like about performance art and the history of women in performance art, which was so interesting to me. And I don't know if you all can relate to this, but at one time, it in music, I feel guys would come into the space and know how to capitalize. They would make T-shirts, they would make records, they would know how to sell the shows. And women would kind of come into performance art or music spaces and really want to enjoy the moment. And then when the moment was gone, the performance was over, the whole thing was over. So I think there are women that haven't been documented through the 50s, 60s, and 70s who have created art and music because the documentation wasn't important to them. So I talk about stuff like that and people to check out, and it's just fun. I try to make it funny.
Nice.
We love humor, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you a question about a fan experience.
Okay.
So where someone touched you, like touched you in like your spirit. What city a fan did that for you? Like, so what's just stands out?
Probably many.
That is such a great question. I'd say the early 2000s, I was in a band called The Shocker, and we had the amazing experience of touring Turkey, a predominantly Muslim country with all women promoters in a DIY setting. So we went to all these small towns all through Turkey, and I immediately, was thinking like, oh, no one's going to know who we are. It's going to be terrible and embarrassing and expensive. And when we got there, it was overwhelming. Entire town showed up, like the grandmas and the parents and the guy from the gas station, like everyone showed up. And after one of the shows, a woman told me that she was in a Kurdish concentration camp when she was a kid in the 90s, and her mother died of breast cancer. And the only thing that got her through was a bootleg cassette tape of L7. And I was just like,
oh my
Isn't that
gosh.
cool? That is so cool.
Wow.
Because you never, and this is the lesson, you never know who you're going to touch.
Right.
We do this for love. We do this for experience. We do this because it's our careers. But you never know who is going to be touched by what you do.
Are you a gamer and your seat cushion is worn out, smells, and lost a spring or two? Because you stay in it all day and night long? We have the cure. It's called a job. Take a shower. Get out of the house and break in your new office chair. This is valuable advice brought to you by the Better Business Council for the abysmal funk that's inside of you. Go to our website, abysmalfunk.com. And remember to click like on our social pages. That's abysmalfunk.com. A Ginko company.
This advice constitutes a significant voluntary lifestyle adjustment and may result in unforeseen consequences, including but not limited to exposure to natural sunlight, increased social interactions, mandatory pants wearing, and potentially reduced tolerance for high-volume energy drink consumption. The job product is not guaranteed to be fun, and the office chair may require minor assembly, does not include a built-in snack dispenser. The Better Business Council for the Abysmal Funk is not responsible for any actual personal hygiene improvements. Loss of gamer tags or discover that you may actually enjoy going outside. Results are not typical. Consult your landlord about removing the gaming rig from the bathtub. All claims are purely aspirational and may not reflect the actual quality of your life.
That's abysmalfunk.com.
Yeah, in the corporate world, they would say, and in the music business, you're sitting in the stand somewhere, right? And you don't know who's on the right or left, and if they're going to be the president of the United States one day, right? And so they would say, be kind to everybody. We just had an episode talking about relationship building, and in the music, it's so common, especially like with music supervisors. We have songs in TV and film. And when you approach a music supervisor, you don't just say, hey, here's my CD, listen to my music. They're just going to, go on to the next person.
Right.
It's all about relationship building and seeking those people to touch their hearts. And like you said, you just don't know sometimes. might come back 20 years from now, that you know that you've saved somebody's life. Or so wow, that's powerful.
So I imagine you being in this business for so long. I mean, you have to really just let loose and make friends and have those relationships, because if you burn people on the way up, you're just gonna get burned on the way down, because you can't be on top all the time. So how do you manage all that?
When I meet people, I can mirror their experience with me. So if they just seem uninterested, not concerned, aggressive, or strange, I just give them the peace and love, and don't pursue relationships with them. But when people really come in sort of genuine and I mirror that. I don't. It's just the same with anything in the world, I suppose. Any relationship or anywhere I am in the world.
Yeah,
How do you do it?
The thing about it is that whenever people that we meet, we don't really care if they're like top record executive or if a millionaire or whatever. We're not looking at it like,
what can I get?
What
from
can I
you?
get from
No.
them? Because as soon as we go down that rabbit hole, you're trying to please people who really don't care about you. So we're just
exactly.
We just love on people as much as we can, no matter what they are. And you'll find out that the people who you think aren't doing anything all of a sudden know somebody, and they help you out or whatever. Something comes out of it, and you're not even asking for it.
For me, it was going through the recovery process where I actually started to trust people, because I isolated myself. I thought everybody was out to get me, honestly. And that was an internal thing. I hated myself so much that my eyes were fogged. I thought people saw me as being worthless as well and didn't care. But going through the recovery process and being able to work through those hurts, hangups, and habits and get to the other side, everything changed when I opened my heart up. I opened my mind up to letting people in. You go through that. Can we bring up the C word?
Sure.
Do you have any words of wisdom going through that journey?
We used to have a joke in my family that we would always say anytime that there was any kind of tragedy or dramatic feeling, we'd say, "Oh, it's not cancer yet. It's not cancer yet." So when it actually was cancer, I really had to shift it to, "I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. There is still hope as long as I am breathing. There are still opportunities to enjoy a life lived well, even with cancer." And, we just do the best we can with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to talk about Peg and how you feel that her heart and mindset kept her alive for so long.
Yeah, I feel that a lot of it was she was an advocate for herself, along with us, an advocate for her. And I can imagine people who don't have an advocate, because like some of her friends that had the same diagnosis, they lasted 6 months. It lasted 11 years. And I think it was driving her that she knew that by her going through the experience she would be able to help somebody else with it. And she did that for as long as she could. She helped somebody else get through that experience, because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to go through, a lot to ask your doctor to be an advocate, what's going on. And I know I was an advocate for a couple months in the hospital with her, by her side, months. It was like crazy, so, and if I wasn't there, that would have ended sooner, so advocate to me is the big word when it comes to cancer. You have to find out all the latest cures, the latest things, the latest, that doesn't work, what's going to happen here. And did you guys go through that too? Like what's healthy to eat, what's not healthy, all those things?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been kind of a health advocate. I mean, I got clean at 24 and started to realize like how strong our bodies are, but how frail they are as well. And really, made, had that come to Jesus, come to yoga kind of, experience where I did start to examine, like, what am I just doing because it's routine? What am I just doing because, well, it feels good? And what am I doing that's really going to create like meaningful change or support? The cancer thing, like the advocate, I'm very lucky. Women in my community showed up for me and did the things like, well, you need a folder and you need these papers and let me see your insurance and this is how your insurance is going to work. And I mean, the technical administration stuff is mind blowing while you're trying to just like get out of bed and shower, like everything else is so huge. Life-changing experience. I had 2 diseases at the same time. One was called angiomyosis, which is the deterioration of muscle. And I actually went in to go get surgery. And while I was in, the doctor was like, "What's that lump in your throat?" And so I was back in 2 weeks later with cancer surgery. So there wasn't even time to process or breathe, which I'm either grateful for or not grateful for. Right. And I just try not to do any kind of conclusion on it because what am I going to do? But that's just how it was.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Hey, who's your favorite bassist? I'm going to change the subject. I don't know why that popped in my head.
It's so funny. I just don't live a life with favorites. Like there are so many that are so different reasons. But the Alice Cooper group bassist has always been a great inspiration. Like simple bassists. I grew up listening to like Parliament and Meters and I mean really great Motown. So all of those bassists have been very inspirational. How about you?
Geddy Lee all the way. I met him too though, and he's the nicest guy from Rush.
For sure.
Yes.
I find him too complicated though. I find that complicated. Like the bass is more of a lead instrument. I like a bass. Yeah, I like a bass that sits back and it's part of the rhythm and moves the story forward in like a very subtle way. But he is a great bassist and that's a great band.
You know what? You're absolutely correct.
I got one. Billy Sheehan.
Oh yeah.
Billy Sheehan, we saw him in the 80s in a band called Alice on a Wednesday night. And I remember I was out there on a Wednesday night and they were playing and he was doing runs. They were doing an Emerson and Palmer song without a keyboard player because he was filling in the keyboard parts on his bass. And we're calling
he's incredible.
We're calling people up, getting them out of bed. You got to come down here. Check this out. He was like, I'd never seen that before. It was just crazy.
May I have a bragging moment?
Oh, yes.
May I brag?
I love that.
In the late 90s, I was in a band called Other Star People. We have a record called Diamonds in the Belly of the Dog. It's a great record, and it was produced by Roy Thomas Baker, who is the producer of Queen and The Cars and Journey, tons of different bands. And we really wanted to explore. I was playing guitar in this band, and we wanted to explore bass, and we got Billy Sheehan kindly came down and recorded a couple songs on the record. So I got to meet him and work with him and see how his mind works. And it was really great. And the keyboardist of The Cars played on that record as well.
Wow.
So it's a really great record if you want to check out. It's a little more pop than, I love like aggressive, emotive, sort of driving hard rock music. But this band is a little bit more quirky and poppy. So people might like it.
If there's a young aspiring like female, maybe bassist or photographer wanting to go to LA right now, what would you say to them?
I would say get into law school.
That's really good.
Come to LA and get into law school and play in your band.
Yeah.
Play in your band and be in school, because it'll all pay off in the end. But, we live hyphenated lives. I do really encourage young people, as young as they can, go move into the cities that are near you or the cities that attract you. I think it's like people are getting scared off of this idea that like LA is so expensive LA still costs the same as it did when I was 18. We just were 3 people in an apartment then. You're just going to be 3 people in an apartment now. It's just kind of how it is. Like everyone kind of moved out into all these beautiful areas of the country and live these curated like lives where they get to just live with their parents in these houses and it's awesome, but there's so many other ways to live. And I think our cities really need young people to come and move here. And yeah, be waiters, go work in movie theaters, go fold clothes, go start your designer business or your whatever it is. Go to the cities and have that experience. Because without young people, the cities are just going to die. They're not going to be anything.
Right. Agreed.
Go to Memphis, go to Nashville, go to Atlanta.
Yes, agree. Oh my goodness. We met a drummer down there and had a conversation with him in Nashville. And he said he was a drummer for hire. That's kind of the way that they do it. I'm talking about like the non-original scene, in the bars and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like 20 different bands. And it was through relationship building. It was through showing up at somebody else's gig and being the loudest to clap, and asking if there's anything you could do for them, that type of thing, and then all of a sudden, like you were saying earlier, they're like, hey, don't you play an instrument? Oh, I have the perfect gig for you,
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show. Get it while it's hot or cold. So good.
Cedar Ridge Acres. Soap. Why? 'Cause you smell good.
Hey, welcome back to Rockstar Diaries TV show. We're here with Jennifer Precious Finch, and I got something here. What the hard questions? Okay, oh my goodness, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one.
Look at her. I love it.
You have a choice. I think I can figure this out now. You have a choice to move anywhere else, because you can't live where you're at now. You can't live where you're at right now. You got to move somewhere else, and you have to get rid of your bass guitar to do it.
Oh,
where are you going?
Well, I would say I'd go to an island, but I would use the bass guitar as a raft to float there. So without the bass guitar, that's such a good question. I
got a funny question. I got a funny question for you.
Sorry.
Have you ever played a gig and you broke a bass string?
all the time.
Really? Wow.
Do you have it like 2 extra basses, or do you just change the string right?
Just one extra bass, and if I can, another secret that I don't really ever talk about is I don't really own any basses. When we go out and play, I rent.
Okay.
Oh.
And so I just rent 2 of them. It's really expensive. Every time you put it on a plane, it's $100. So, yeah. And like all of these companies that are like, they're going to sponsor you, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And they're like basically just going to give you a bass that to them costs $200. Really, and then you're going to be advertising them for the rest of your life. I've asked a couple companies like, hey, sponsorship to me would look like shipping the bass.
Yeah.
I'll buy the bass. What if you shipped it? And they're just like, oh no, that's too expensive.
Right.
So even they say that.
What's your go-to bass?
I like a Fender Jazz Hybrid. I've been playing one since the early 80s, and it's actually in the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas right now in their jam room, which is a room full of like iconic instruments of other musicians that people can just go play. Not behind glass. You could just go play. So if you're in Las Vegas, check it out.
Yes, I love that. I haven't heard of that. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did the loan for 2 years, and I'm hoping that people will go play the bass and give it really good vibes, and then it'll come back to me, and then I'll play it again.
Yes. We're sending out good vibes right now.
No more things.
Oh my goodness. It's so true though. We went on tour to Romania and we got like a mini Taylor guitar that because it's small and you could fit it up on the overhead. And at the time, our friend's husband worked for Homeland TSA, and he said, they'll confiscate it. Like, don't take it, And so we were like, we're going to be in Romania. Where are we going to go? And it was such a blessing. Andre Dudu ended up loaning us his guitar. It was beautiful white.
Shout out to Andre. He's currently on The Voice in Romania right now.
Yeah, he won the Eurovision for Romania, 3 years ago. He's amazing. If you ever get a chance, look him up.
Hi, everyone. I didn't become an international best-selling author, award-winning songwriter, global speaker and coach, and now a TV show host by scrolling all day. Nope, none of that came by accident. It came from intention, from choosing growth on purpose every single day. Even just 10 minutes a day adds up to over 60 hours a year of leveling up your mindset, your habits, and your life. If you are ready to stop watching others live their dream and start building your own, I'm willing to share one of the most powerful tools that I use, created by the #1 high-performance coach in the world, Brendon Burchard. It's called Growth Day. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And your next level is just one intentional decision away. Bring the joy, everyone.
Don't be sorry to say goodbye. It's my time to try. I can learn to fly. In my castle down. They'll try to shoot you down. There's a fire in my soul, calling me back home. Whispers on the wind, they're calling me to dream again, dream again, dream again.
Well, any parting or golden nuggets that you just are dying to give our audience?
Oh my gosh. I am going to say, I feel that there are two kinds of people in the world, responders and initiators. And I'm really good at being a responder. So initiating anything to say isn't really my jam. How was that for meta? It's kind of a...
Cool. Well, can we dissect that a little bit or unpack that? Because so I'm an initiator and a responder. I'm an extrovert and an introvert. How can you become an initiator? Because really,
I think that to become an initiator is to understand your value as a responder.
Okay.
Responders are very effective. Responders get things done. Responders are like the people that are like, wow, that's a good idea. I have this to contribute to it, and here's how we're going to get it done. Where initiators can be like, I like blue, and we can change the world with this, and now I'm on to the next topic.
Okay, all right.
Two different, it is finding that balance.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thanks for clarifying that a little bit. Because like I said, my brain was working a mile a minute to hack that statement. So
yeah. When you're putting together a band or a team, or looking at your family and how your family can be like maybe more effective, really thinking about who in your family are responders and who are initiators can help everyone understand each other better, even just very instantly. right? Like a parent who's trying to get their kids to always clean their room, like on their own initiation. They might just not be initiators and need more structure. And it's like not a bad thing. It's just a thing.
You're absolutely correct. Did you go through all those personality tests through the years, like Myers-Briggs and DISC? Or how do you know you have such a keen self-awareness? How did you get there?
Oh my God. I'm fascinated by how bands work and why some bands make it and some bands don't. And some artists have fake bands, like they want the look of a band, but they only hire out like temporary musicians. Totally fascinated by that. That's the kind of stuff that I talk about in the newsletter, by the way. Like, that's like, whoo, what is that about? Yeah, so I was a software developer for years. I still am. So I've always put together teams. So understanding who I'm putting together makes or breaks a project. So I've always kind of looked at, not so much Briggs Myers, but some of the other, like just, how to put personalities into a room and have them work together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Instead of fighting against a certain personality, able to work with it cohesively.
Right, and understand each other, particularly when there's personality rubs, how to come forward with compassion and not competition, and how can you work with other people and even modify myself as a leader to be able to lead my group. I always say I'm a good leader and I'm a good supporter, along with being a responder and initiator.
Right now I need to get inside the mind of our dog, because we'll take her on a walk and she'll just lay down. It's like, hey, how you doing? We're like, we're walking.
She just started doing that too, so we're a little concerned.
Yeah, she might have joint pain.
We're taking her.
That's why I lay down when I take walks.
Yes.
She jumps to go to the door to get outside, and then she lays down. We're like, what?
Hey, this is on a totally different note, but we're talking about personality differences. I'm from the West Coast. He's from the East Coast, and we had an interesting time.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It is very interesting, and I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but just conflict, right? Going through conflict. His idea is, let's shout it out, scream at each other, and then go to coffee. And we're good. We'll just get it out right away. Yeah. I mean, that truly, it is interesting.
That's how they act. Yeah.
And we're so laid back. I don't know. In the West Coast, I just remember we're so laid back,
Mm-hmm.
More so than, like New York and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people come to the West Coast to explore and be more expansive and be innovative.
Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you today, Jennifer. We feel like you could be a forever friend. And when we're in LA, we're going to look you up. We're going to subscribe to your newsletter and add you to our library of music.
I have one last question. What's going on in your life that you would like to advertise or promote here on our show?
Thank you so much for asking what I would like to promote. I don't have anything specific. Like I don't have I'm not in a lecture. I don't have a book, but I do have a newsletter, and it is at Substack. So if you just go to look up Jennifer Substack or substack.com/@JenniferFinch, you can get to it. And I would just appreciate if people subscribe to it, because it is really where I make announcements, small drops. Like I do fanzines with my photography and some books, like affordable $10 fanzines that are limited edition. And I don't know. I would love if everyone who's listening would subscribe.
There you go, people. Go do it.
Go do it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yay!
It's great to meet you.
forgiven. No more chains on me. I'm a child of God, that's who I am. I am free. I am beloved.